when I first started training, I was probably around 18 years old. That's when I really started taking it seriously. But I was first introduced to the world of strength through a professional strength coach for a South African rugby team called the South African Blue Bulls. And I was intrigued by his title. He was a professional strength coach. And I didn't know anything about strength training. I just thought, men train weights to build muscle and women do cardio to burn fat, and that's how we train. So I thought, let's see what this is about. And he introduced me to some very simple concepts that I had no idea about. Things like progressive overload. Now, because I was doing jiu-jitsu back in the day, it was a very small community. This was over 10 years ago. And I knew a lot of the professional fighters. So instead of creating a mock-up case study, I approached the professional fighter and offered to be his coach for free. No other coaches in my area were coaching professional fighters. So even though I only had one professional athlete, I was known as the guy that trains the pros. I didn't have the time to train jiu-jitsu if I wanted to be successful in my career. So I thought, what do I have to do to walk the talk, practice what I preach, to show some credibility for my athletes, for my clientele? And powerlifting just so happened to use squat, bench press, and deadlift, which you don't have to be a powerlifter to train those movements. They just so happen to be quite beneficial for anyone that wants to get strong. I became a powerlifter, and then I became a fanatic at it, and I just so happened to get pretty good at it because I put all my time in that space. And as you know, my name is Australian Strength Coach. That wasn't like me choosing the optimal name. It was just kind of one of the only ones that was available. With my wife and her sister, they've got a business called Base Body Babes, and they were quite popular on social media in Australia. And we collaborated and we opened a gym together. And opening the gym attracted another larger audience again. And this is when I met Hafthor Bjornsson. Hafthor came to my gym to present a seminar he was employed by a company called SodaStream. Anyway, after the day of holding the seminar, he was happy with the way that I coached, and he approached me and asked me to be his coach. There was a few kind of highlights of this day. One of them, we were demonstrating the bench press. And, my job was to showcase Hafthor as the amazing man that he is. I asked Hafthor in front of the class, what's your personal best for a bench press? And he said, 230 kilograms. I walked around the class. I said, who in this class can bench press that? That's 5 blue plates and a little one on each side. Who can do that? And everyone's their jaws dropped and they're like, wow, of course we can't. And my wife, my biggest fan, she jumped in and she said, you can. And I saw him in my peripheral vision kind of look at me, kind of sizing me up. He put up his hand. He was one of the presenters, and he put up his hand. He said, Sebastian, do you mind if I try this technique? So the first time he tried it, he was able to bench press 240 kilograms. He was still not completely sold. It took a lot of years of working together before we started to really, really work well. Yeah, since then it's opened up my world. I train a list of people that are competitive in the world's strongest man at the highest level.